Hi y'all, I'm Allison and welcome to the Mighty Bujo. I know it's technically like January 25th, but we're going to roll back the clock today and set up the month of January in my bullet journal. I'm way behind. I did film this back around, I think January 11th, and it's taking me this long to get it edited and ready to share with y'all. I even considered just skipping my January pages, or videos rather, and just moving directly onto February, but I decided I didn't want to do that. I'd rather put this up late than not do it at all. So I hope you still can find some inspiration and pretend with me that we are at the beginning of the month. This Tombow that I'm using is called Glacier Blue, I believe. And it's a really, really light blue, obviously. So it takes a couple of layers for it to show up. But it's a beautiful color. I love it. And it goes especially well with gray, I think. Now, if your pen doesn't work like mine does, don't give it up. Just keep doing circles and sometimes you can bring them back. Now, we're about to have our first major goof. Here we go in slow motion. Yeah. I grabbed the gray and not the blue, and all I wanted to do was darken that blue. So instead of freaking out, I reached for a paper towel, but it didn't fix it, and light blue didn't cover it. Shocking, isn't it? Yeah, I was so upset I almost just went to bed. Instead, I decided to move to a different part of the page and did this, and then I didn't like where it was, so I grabbed my Washi, because Washi fixes everything. And I decided to just kind of highlight this by making a little box around it. Now I am extending the washi tape so I can line up my dots easier and trim them. Because if you've ever tried to line it up on the corners, it's really hard. So, yeah. While doing all of this, I'm still hoping for a magic solution to my title. So, more washi tape. And here I'm making a tab so I can easily flip to my monthly view for January. And you can see where I've made it stick out farther than the rest of the pages. So I decided just keep going over the blue, and couldn't get rid of the gray. I've got to incorporate it. Outline all the letters with the dark gray, which actually kind of worked because that blue is so light. It's darker in person than it is on camera, but it's still a very light shade. So I don't know that I'm completely thrilled about the way it turned out, but I think it works. I recovered from it. The J is still a little funky, but hey, you use what you've got, right? Now that mini challenge, that is for my morning routine, and it is something that I'm doing this year. Instead of making a New Year's resolution, every month I'm giving myself a new challenge to focus on for 30 days. So if you want to know more about that, I actually discuss it in my setup of 2018. I'll put a little card up in the corner for y'all. And here I'm highlighting 3 special days. My daughter is getting her braces off. She's turning 17, and my mom's birthday. So January's eventful month for us this year. So now we're moving on to my favorite one, which is my habit tracker. Now it's going to be a little bit shorter than my normal one, but I'm still obviously using 2 pages. And the reason my list is shorter is not because I'm not tracking lists, but because some of these items are being moved to my weekly view, and they're to incorporate. I can't talk today. Why? Oh my god, I can make a freaking blooper reel just off of this. You know what? I may just leave this. I'm just going to roll with it and see what happens. So, hi y'all. I have no clue today. My brain is running in slow motion, and I'm watching the video that's going at 800% normal speed, and I cannot get my brain to function. So, here's my habit tracker. And look, it's my husband's business cards. He's starting a little drone side business, filming and flying. So if anybody's interested, there you go. Call my husband. Yeah, so I colored it in that one square because that is one thing I managed to do, is update my Quicken, which is how I track our checking account. And I wanted to see how the color was going to be compared to my tape, and they're almost a perfect match. And here I am freeforming an igloo. And I don't know what I think, but then I decided to make it look like little blocks of ice. And I think it kind of works. If you know it's an igloo, then it looks like an igloo. So there we go. Habit tracker. And coming back over to add my new colors. Moving on, I should be able to do this one. It's at 3 lines a day. And anybody who has kept a bullet journal is an expert at counting to 31. I'm beginning to wonder if I could actually count to 32 now. Because, yeah, I'm a pro at 31. Here, just adding a few snowflakes for decoration. And you can probably hear my dog's collars. One of the neighbor dogs is barking, and mine both just ran to the door. So hopefully it's not about to get noisy. After I put this on the page, I was paranoid that I was tempting fate. Being a Texan, snow is a scary thing. So just in case, just kidding. I don't really want snow. Well, I think it's beautiful. I did live up north for my childhood. Like, we moved down here when I was like 8. And I do remember the snow. And it's only pretty for the first few days, and then it gets really yucky looking. So I prefer my snow in movies. Here I'm having a little fun while I put in my little dots. And this tracker is used for my daughter's school day. I homeschool her. Here, it's taken me a few months, but I think I finally got a format that I like for tracking my sleep. And over here is my Fitbit tracker. Just a copy of the information from my Nook into my book, because I don't always open the app. I love this pen. It writes so smooth and it's so dark. It's a Micron Pigma brush pen. And I goofed there. I obviously want to take more than 600 steps a day. It's supposed to be 6,000. Less than the recommended 10,000, but a realistic goal for me, especially during winter. I tend to hibernate. I don't like to go outside when it's cold. So moving on, I wanted to mask off part of the page, but it's clogged, and I couldn't get it to clear up. So finally, that's what I got, and after fighting it for like 45 minutes, I was just like, you know what, forget this. I can't damage it. And that's when I realized that this little yellow part was actually removable. It was nowhere on the packaging, and the little wire inside the cap wasn't long enough to reach the clog, and I couldn't get it and couldn't get it. Like I said, finally, I was in frustration. I just pulled on that long applicator tip, and then I realized it would actually turn. So I was able to take it off and get that clog out. But nowhere on the packaging does it say that you can remove the tip completely. So if you run into that, see if you can possibly remove the tip completely, and with it being so long, you should be able to get the clog out of the lid. But once I got it working, I had no problem whatsoever. I did use this masking fluid and talked about it in my setup for my January cover page. One thing I do love about this stuff is you can see it turns green when it's dry, but since the centers were so thick, I used the heat gun just to make sure. And this time, instead of using watercolors, I wanted to see how it would do with the Tombow. Since they're water-based, I figured it should work. And it did. So now what I'm hoping for when this is done is to have just a little impressions, I guess, of snowflakes on the pages. I didn't give this a second coat or anything. The color, I left it really light. And so they show up better in person once I remove this than it does on camera. And all you do to get it to come off the page is just use your finger pad or like the side of your thumb, and it'll easily come right off. And you can see the little shadows of snowflakes, especially the one I think on the bottom right shows up the best on camera. This is my background for my gratitude and overflow, which is what I call my brain dump page. And other than decorating the pages themselves, I'm leaving it very simple and just having the title on there. Alright, so now moving on to my little calendar for tracking when I've posted my videos, which this month is going to be very sporadic and quite blank. So I'm sorry about that. I am going to try very, very, very hard to have a real schedule for February and actually have these up in a timely manner. If nothing else, I'm sure I'll beat my record for January, considering that now today is January 26th. Yeah, I have just run into roadblock after roadblock with this one, but I'm determined to publish it. This will go up today. So, yeah, posting schedule and the steps for my videos. It's been a rough start this year, but I'm determined to plow through. So here is the final flip through. Still can't talk, even though it's a day later. There's my monthly view and my little habit tracker, which I can say is mostly completely blank this year, or this month. I haven't tracked anything. And then spaces for 3 lines a day, which still is blank. I haven't journaled at all. It's sad. I miss my bullet journal. So I'm gonna hit it really hard next month. Fill all my pages up. And I will be posting my weekly spreads. So cross your fingers, tomorrow I will have that up, or I may even release one later on today if everything lines up right and I can get it done. So I hope you found some ideas, or maybe had a laugh or two, and I would love it if you would subscribe, leave me a comment down below, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. So thanks for watching, y'all. Bye. Oh, stick to the end for more videos. Bye.